The Lord's instruction is perfect, reviving one's very being. The Lord's laws are faithful, making naive people wise. When we read the psalm, we hear kind of these two back-to-back thoughts about God's laws, God's instructions. The first being that they revive the soul. The second, and I love this, that it makes the naive person wise. Naive is a funny word that reminds us that there are times in which we're just kind of not fully aware. I've been there before, haven't you? Not fully aware, maybe a little bit blinded to reality. Can't see the full picture. Naive is actually probably one of the ways we might describe children. Not in a bad way, but kids certainly don't understand the complexities of the world around them. Quite honestly, adults don't always understand the complexity of the world around us. So in the midst of trying to understand the complexity, we can name that maybe we're a little bit naive. So how does understanding God's law, God's instruction, make us wise? Well, it might help us to understand that in this world there are complexities. And if we understand that God's call to love, to be neighbor, to care for, to express a sense of faithfulness, if we understand that all of that is true in our lives, can't that help us to begin to understand some of the complexities around us? And then the first part, the whole idea of reviving the soul means that the soul is in need of life. My soul, your soul, the soul that's breathed into us. When we go back to Genesis, it reminds us that in creating humankind, God breathed life into us. The Hebrew word is ruach, the breath of life. We receive that spirit. We're created in the image of God, and at times we need to revive that spirit. Can that spirit be revived on our own? Is it through our own ability, our own will? No. Just like on Friday's devotion when we talked about the idea that we need to be connected to Christ, connected to the vine, in order that we are fruitful, the same is true for our soul. It can only be revived through our connection to Christ. We're reminded that God is the source of that breath, of that ruach. And when we receive it, we are alive again. But let's go back to the idea of what the psalm says. God's instructions, God's laws are those things that make us wise, the things that revive, give life to our soul. You see, it forces us to rethink what we think we know about God's laws and instructions. It's not all just about rules that we have to follow, like in a teacher's classroom. It's about ways that we need to walk so that we can make sure that we are loving neighbor, so that we can make sure that we are being good friends, so we can make sure that we are being compassionate and caring. What is God's law? Jesus sums it up for us. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And love your neighbor as yourself. May that revive us. And may it make us wise to the reality and complexities of the world around us. And may we live into it. Amen.